Good morning everyone. In this video I want to give you a quick channel update as well as talk about the recent updates to the game in patch 1.0.5 I think it is, and my impressions of it. So first of all, I need to apologize, there hasn't been any videos this week, and the reason for that is not that I've been lazy, but I've actually been away. I took a trip to England and spent a week with my girlfriend on the English countryside. We stayed in a lovely little old style tavern and everything, and it was an amazing experience, but unfortunately I didn't even have Wi-Fi, so I haven't been able to make any updates to the channel. Every once in a while when I was in like a pub or something that actually had Wi-Fi, I would go on and reply to a couple of comments. But getting back, I actually realized that you guys had been active in my absence, and while I wasn't here, we actually went past 4,000 subscribers. So all the viewers were actually growing the channel while I was away, which makes me, very happy, and I'm very grateful. So thank you so much for that. But now I'm back in Japan, and it's time to start making a lot of videos again. In terms of the videos I want to make going forward, I only made 2 videos the days before I left on Hwoarang and Paul, and how I think you can some tips for how to beat a bad player misusing or exploiting those characters online. That has turned out to be a very popular idea, and so I want to keep on making those. It's probably going to be my main focus for this week, to get a couple more of those videos out. Now, the characters that we've had the most requests for when it comes to those videos are Eddie, King, Law, and Lucky Chloe. So those are probably the 4 characters I'm going to look at first, but if you have any other requests, obviously let me know. The next thing I definitely want to do very soon is I want to make my next full-length character tutorial, because my goal is obviously to get one of those out on every single character in the roster. And here I do need a little bit of help, because I don't have a specific character that I really feel like doing next. We have a lot of requests for Xiao Yu, and we have a lot of requests for different Mishimas. Those are characters that I don't enjoy playing myself, so I would have to spend quite a bit of time studying up before I made any tutorials on them. But I'm obviously willing to do that if that's what you guys want to see. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is the recent update to Tekken, patch 1.05. I was in England and I looked at one of my one of my friend's laptops, and I just quickly went onto YouTube and I saw there were a lot of videos coming out about how this patch is not considered very good, how some people are frustrated about what it did to online, and I didn't really have time to read the patch notes or anything, so I was a little bit worried. And then I came back yesterday, I read up on the patch notes, and I went and I had a couple of games online. So it turns out the main thing that has happened with online is actually that you probably remember when we started playing Tekken 7 online, you could see what character your opponent had chosen, you could see all this information about them, and then you had an option to play them or reject the match, which is a little bit odd. And so then they removed the option to see what kind of character your opponent was playing, which I think is important. It's that thing where you might not like playing against Eddie or whatever the character is, but if you are a Tekken player and you really feel like you want to specialize in Eddie and you want to be a good Eddie main and you're working hard on that, you should obviously be able to get matches online without people rejecting you. So I think that was an important update. What's happened this time is they've started removing even more information, and so now you cannot see your opponent's name anymore. And so if there is an opponent that you don't like to play against, that you played against and you thought was very annoying or way too good for you because they were smurfing, or maybe they had a rank that was far removed from your own rank, meaning you're not going to get a lot of points, rank up points for beating them, you could previously choose not to play them. And you don't have that option anymore. I was surprised to find that this was the only major change, and it's not even a major change in my opinion to online, and that people still manage to be that upset about it. To me personally, it doesn't seem like that significant of a change whatsoever, but I'll explain why. Obviously I realized that people thought that the previous way was better, and I think I might even agree that it was kind of nice to be able to see your opponent's name. I personally choose to play almost every single match I get and every single opponent I get, because the thing for me is I hate to sit around waiting for matches. I usually end up doing something else, and then as soon as I get a match I just press OK without really looking, and then I play my games. And if it turns out it's an opponent that's going to be frustrating me, then I just try and see that as an opportunity to learn. But there are definitely sometimes, like I said previously, if you have an opponent who is your rank or one rank above or one rank below, that's always nice. But if you get an opponent who's 2 ranks removed, it actually really slows down your progress when you're trying to rank up. And so those matches I do like to reject sometimes, but we don't have that option anymore. Now, the reason I don't think this change is too significant and why I don't think it's going to affect me when I play the game too much is because for the major part of time where I've been playing Tekken 7, I was playing it in the Japanese arcades. And the way it works when you play Tekken 7 in the arcade is you put a coin in and the game throws you into arcade mode. And so you're playing arcade mode, and then at any point when the game finds you an opponent, you just get interrupted, the screen goes black, and then it goes get ready for the next battle, and then you play against the Brian, basically. So you have no information, no choice. You actually have less options than you have now, because now if you don't feel like playing a game right now because you want to go to the toilet or whatever, you can just reject the match. Whereas in the arcades, you are forced to play the game instantly with no information about who you're going to play against. And so it actually happened sometimes that you played someone who was super frustrating, and then you went out of the game and you're like, oh, I don't want to revenge this guy, and then the next match you play the exact same guy again. And that's just something you had to get used to in the arcade days, and it was actually a little bit of a decent learning experience for me, because it ended up meaning that I had to play against a lot of people that I didn't feel like, but you still had to do your best, because if you lose, you're gonna, you don't want to lose, and you're gonna lose your rank and whatever. So it was a pretty good learning experience for me. Now, is that the preferable way to do it on console? I don't think so. So I would agree that the update is maybe not super necessary, but I don't think it's going to affect me in the way I play the game too much, and so I'm not all that frustrated about this at all. And it seems that they've actually reduced some of the loading times and made a little bit of like the matchmaking a little bit quicker, and that I think is fantastic, because that was the one thing that was frustrating me a little bit about online, was the fact that sometimes you had to wait a long time after somebody rejected your match or so on. Alright, so that final thing I want to talk a little bit about very briefly is the fact that we've had the Tekken, the Super Tekken Super Bowling Ultimates or whatever update to the game, and there's like a bowling mini game in the game right now. I mentioned briefly in my video on the what's his name, Goose Master, the geese character reveal, that I don't think it's worthwhile creating a bowling minigame in Tekken, and I think it's a complete waste of time for the developers. That's still my opinion. I don't want to be like super negative about the whole thing. I'm never gonna touch the game mode because it's, if I wanted to play like a bowling game, I'd probably get a Nintendo console. I feel like sports minigames and like fun minigames like that exist for like the younger or older people who have a Wii U or something in their house, and they play with their friends whenever they have a house party. It's very, very odd that it suddenly exists in Tekken, because I think the very sort of serious people who play Tekken with notepads and learn all this frame data and are very they want to learn meticulous movement and everything, are going to be so disinterested in a bowling minigame, and the people who might be interested in a bowling minigame are definitely never even going to scratch the surface of a serious fighting game like Tekken. So I don't know. I've seen a couple of videos on other people playing it, and it looks like it has a really high level of polish. It looks really well made and solid. Which is great, but it almost makes me a little bit more frustrated, because it makes me feel like they probably spend a lot of time making it, which suggests that they could have spent that time making something that the people who already enjoy Tekken 7 for the amazing fighting game that it is happier, such as a new character, a new stage, maybe even a balance patch. Who knows? Maybe that's not the way game development works. I obviously don't know. Alright, so that's going to be it for this little update. Let me know what you think about all the things that are going on with Tekken. I mean, it's obviously one of the most popular and well-received fighting games and Tekken games ever, and it's gotten hugely popular, and I'm so happy about that. It's probably the reason my channel I've had it for less than, it's 2.5 months, and I'm already over 4,000 subscribers, and I think that's in large part because of this game is becoming so popular and so well received, and it's really an amazing fighting game that I'm probably going to keep on enjoying and keep on making videos on for a long time to come. And so I hope you stick around, and I hope you're enjoying Tekken. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which is going to go up very, very soon. So look forward to that. Thank you, and bye-bye.